Hello and welcome to this 30-minute practice or so, and we're going to be focusing on opening up the hips a little bit of upper spinal opening in the thoracic spine, and a little bit towards the shoulders as well. So all of my favorite areas. Welcome to Bali. Let's begin, shall we? Seated position. So we'll start in a seated position. Let's shut down the eyes and we'll just start with a little bit of ease. So get a comfy position through the lower back and into your hips. Maybe you sit seated up on something. But go ahead and roll back the shoulders a few times and start to lift a little into the lower back. And as much as we're creating a little bit of activation through the spine, there's a little bit of stability, a little bit of effort. Try and meet that with equal parts of ease. So soften the shoulders, soften through the ribs and the belly. And then shift your attention into the quality of your breath. So start to notice the feeling of breathing. And as you're tuning into this basic rhythm of the body, we start to kind of pattern the breath in a conscious way. And that becomes mimicked by the state of our mind and eventually in the movement patterns of the body. So go ahead and start to deepen your breath very gradually, very slowly. As you breathe in, imagine that you can send it down towards your lower back. Let it fill sideways, up into the side bodies, and then channel it up towards the middle of your chest. Let it lift through the shoulders, but keep the shoulders soft. As you exhale, guide the breath out of the body. So it's not being dumped out of the body, but a slow kind of dab of the brakes on your exhalation. Let all of this feeling of control over your breathing come from the lower back, what feels like the lower back. It's more of an imagined space, but try not to let your belly necessarily just sort of pop out. There's a swelling, but an upward rise of energy. Go ahead and start to stretch out your breathing and see if you can breathe in for about 5 or 6 seconds and breathe out for about 5 or 6 seconds. If it's a little shorter or a little longer, it's all good. You work with something that's consistent and comfortable. They're really the two key factors, consistent and comfortable. One more round, just like that. And then drop the count and maintain the relative pace. And we keep this intimate connection with the pacing of the breath as we gently start to move the body. So we'll start to blink open the eyes. Let's roll over the knees and come towards cat-cow. So a very gentle entry into cat-cow, and let it be a gradual development of movement. So as you inhale to press the belly down, it's not your maximum. And then as you arch and raise up your spine, again, not your maximum. But then let it build. So a few more rounds. Inhale to dip the belly. Exhale to arch up the spine. And you're just finding this synchronicity between breath and movement. Now see if you can really notice the tailbone movement or the pelvis articulating. You'll notice as you tilt the tailbone up, it naturally wants to press the belly down and dip the chest. As you arch, tuck the tail, raise up through the spine and push it between the shoulder blades. And we can start to head towards something a little bit more dynamic. So feel free to make some side bends, some little wiggles of the tail or some circles through your hips. We can do something a little bit more asymmetrical with your shoulders, Get a snake-like wave-like movement through the side bodies. We'll just take another 2, maybe 3 more rounds of breath, but keep the synchronicity of breath and movement. Inhale sends the body one way. Exhale sends it another way. One more round, last one, dip to the arch. And then returning to a neutral spine, really want to be quite gentle in the next one here. So as you keep your hips above the knees, I'm just going to take the lightest little puppy pose. So as you walk the hands out about as wide as your mat, start to let the chest sink forward and down, letting some easy breath come through here. You don't have to get the chest to the floor or even close to it, neither the forehead, but of course you're welcome to. Let's take 2 more breaths. Try and curl around the shoulders down, round the armpits down, and let's just go 1 more big breath. Back to tabletop, hands and knees. 1 more cat-cow from there. So as you inhale, press the belly down. And this time, as you arch, tuck your toes and lift up your hips into downward facing dog. Take a little bit of movement into the legs, pedaling, bending one knee and then the other. Just 2 more breaths here, just a bit more of a setup and an inquiry into down dog rather than anything too deep. So spread the fingers nice and wide, pushing the ground away so the shoulders feel quite active. 1 more big breath here. And then start to walk your hands backwards towards your feet into a forward fold at the back of the mat. Nice loose bend in the knees, nice and soft through the neck. Maybe a little bit of a sway from left to right. Side to side is nice. Just 2 more quite full breaths, so let it feel like it's coming to the top of the ribs with the inhale. And then bend your knees a whole lot deeper. Roll up the spine through to standing. Reach up and stretch up nice and high, nice and big. Squeeze the glutes and then fold straight back down towards the floor. Walk your hands out to plank position. Bring the shoulders above your wrists, nice and strong through the shoulders. Arch and round for a brief moment. And then lower the knees and lower the whole body down until you're flat onto the floor. Now slide the hands back about 2 inches. Inhale to lift up the chest into cobra. And the exhale to take you straight back down, all the way flat. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. Really try and point your feet pretty hard and keep on going. As the inhale comes up, roll back the shoulders. And the exhale takes you down gently and slowly. Last one. And as you exhale and release, you're welcome to do a push-up or come back through tabletop and into downward facing dog, lifting up your hips. Pretty immediately walking towards the top of your mat, feet coming forward towards the hands. And as you get there, inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold again. Stand tall and reach up all the way up. Interlace your hands now behind the lower back. Roll back the shoulders nice and firmly. So squeeze the shoulder blades down and then bend your knees as you fold again. 2, maybe 3 breaths there. Relax the neck. And release, hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your left foot back. Lower the knee to the floor. 1 breath as you raise the chest and arms up. See if you can touch the palms. And as you exhale, bring the hands back down to the floor. Step back to plank position. Now, with the knees or not, find chaturanga. Bend your elbows, lower in. Inhale, up dog from there. Pull the chest through. And then lift the hips downward facing. Breath or 2. And then look forward and walk, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift as you arrive. Exhale to fold. Stand tall, reach up. So slow it down and interlace the hands behind the lower back 1 more time. Roll back the shoulders, shoulders down. And then a little bend in the knees as you fold. Really try and drive the tailbone back and fold. Relax the neck. Squeeze the shoulder blades and take just 2 more breaths. Release. Hands to the floor. Halfway lift, inhale. Right foot steps back, and again, lower the knee. Squeeze your right glute as you raise the chest and arms up. Lean back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to plank. Knees or not, chaturanga. Bend your elbows. Inhale, up dog. Chest pulls through. And then lift the hips into down dog. A breath or two again. And then straight back to the top of the mat. Walk, step, or jump the feet forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Stand tall and reach up all the way. Exhale to fold again, hands coming down. It's going to change. Halfway lift, and now the left foot stepping back. Keep the back knee very straight. Puff the chest forward and then raise the right hand up into simple twist. Easy twist. Watch the front knee, keep it above your ankle. And then rotate through the upper spine, keeping the hand on the floor, kind of helping that leverage so you're able to turn a little deeper, but keep reaching the right arm up, even though the chest is turning. We'll just go one more deep breath here. And as your right hand comes down, drop the back knee down, raise the chest and arms up into low lunge now. And in this shape, eagle wrap your right arm underneath your left one. If that's not happening, give yourself a hug, all good. Either way, lift the elbows up, squeeze the left glute, and keep the elbows lifting, but now see if you can drop the shoulder blades. 2 more breaths. Unwrap your arms, square up your chest, reach up, big breath in. And as the hands come down, pick up the back knee, puff the chest forward on fingertips, and start to gently straighten through the front leg and fold. Do this 2 more times. Inhale to lunge again. As you fold, lift the front ball of the foot, rest on the heel. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, back to the fold. This time, take the lunge, little tricky here. Slide your left hand further forward, turn your right foot and knee out to the right into Cleopatra. Reach for the back of the mat, strong little position, stay for another breath. And we pulse on the spot. Lift the hips, sweep the right hand up over the head. Exhale to sink back in. Last one, inhale to lift up and over. Exhale to sink back in. A little different now. Step your right foot back on top of the left for side plank and elevate your hips. Find your distance, holding for a sec. One more big breath here. Other side of side plank. Right hand down, turn the hips, turn the heels. Left hand up, maybe it's a wild thing there. There's another alternative, stepping the left foot out, rotate the hips and chest. Either stay in side plank or here in wild thing. Another big breath. We come straight through a flow. Left hand down, find chaturanga, bend your elbows. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, hips up. Breath or 2. Walk, step or jump to the top, feet up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Stand tall, reach up. Exhale to fold again, hands down. Halfway lift, and now the right foot stepping back. So strong back leg, keep it straight. We're trying not to let the hips move at all here as a left hand comes up. All the rotation is in the upper spine, through your shoulder region. Breathing here. Holding here, back knee still strong. Let it sit for a second. Let the breath move here. One more, big one. Left hand down, drop the back knee down, arms up, low lunge. And then really squeeze your right glute, keep it steady, belly in. Sink the hips a little bit, and then find an eagle wrap. Left arm underneath the right. Elbows start to lift up. Chest lifting, ribs lifting, but belly in. And then drop the shoulder blades and slightly press your hips forward. Not down, but forward. 2 more big breaths here. Inhale, unwrap the arms, reach up, big breath in. Hands to the floor, pick up the back knee, puff the chest forward, and then gently straighten through the front leg and fold. 2 more. Inhale to lunge. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lunge again, and as you fold, you might pick up the front ball of the foot. This time, lunge, hold for a moment, so really puffing out the chest nice and further forward. Get length, right hand moves forward. And you might shorten up the stance if this is a little tricky for you, but spin to the left, drop the knee to the side, Cleopatra. Inhale, lunge, pulse rather, lift the hips and reach up, and then sink back in. And we do it one more time. Inhale, lift, reach over. Exhale, back in. This time, a lift of the hips to step you back into side plank. Stack up the legs, strong side body. Couple of big breaths, hold. Side plank, other side, left hand down. Turn the hips, turn the heels, right hand up. Wild thing is there as another alternative. So really quite strong in the glutes here. Lifting through the chest. Breath or two, reaching, holding. Little extra here. Last big breath. And through a flow. Right hand down. Chaturanga, bend your elbows. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, hips up. Breath or two. And we walk, step or jump to a squat. Feet outside your hands. Set the hips down heavy. Chest up. 2 or 3 big breaths. Kind of a little bit of lift in the pelvic floor, so it feels like there's elevation from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. Last big breath. 2 hands down. Step the left foot back. Lift the right foot up and out into a 3-legged dog. Take a bend into the knee, lift the hip just a touch for a moment, and then exhale to step that foot in between the hands. Crescent lunge, raise the chest and arms up. From here, interlace your hands behind your lower back. You might actually spin the back heel down for a bit more stability, although you're welcome to lift it up, and that's a little more tricky. See if you can roll back the shoulders, puff up the chest, and as you begin to bow forward, start to straighten through the front leg. Take your time. It's a little wobbly. Front big toe grounded. Neck relaxing a little. Hands coming up. If the back heel's lifted, lift it right up. If it's down, drive it right down. 2 more big breaths. Crescent lunge. Bend the front knee, arms up. As you find the shape, find warrior 2. Open up your left arm, spin the back heel down. Immediately straighten the front leg and reach up and back. Come back through warrior 2 on your way to side angle. Bend the front knee, hand down. Top arm wrapping into a half bind. Wrap it behind your lower back. Welcome to take it towards a full bind. And if you're thinking about just even carving out a pathway to the full bind, bring the right elbow inside the knee and reach the hand back to your belly. We keep turning the top shoulder back. Stabilize into the breath. Back leg really strong, and then let the hips sink forward a little bit. Another breath or so. Two hands inside your front foot. Turn the front foot and turn to the side of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to fold forward. Nice and easy here. Just 3 breaths, short stop in this one. Breath or 2 more. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk your hands to the back of the mat, all the way back. As you arrive here, inhale, find a crescent lunge, arms up. Exhale through to an arrowhead, sweep your arms back. And as you stand up, hug your right knee to your chest, hands to prayer, belly in, lift it high and tight, hold here for just 2 more breaths. And as you arrive, belly tight, can't stress that part enough. Kick the heel out in front of you and hold. 1 big breath. Pendulum, swing that leg back, hands to the floor, step back, runner's lunge once again. Inhale, raise your left arm up into simple twist and find side plank or wild thing directly. Either one, left foot steps back, turn the hips, lift the chest, breath or two. And in one big step, do your best. Left foot steps back between the hands, Skandasana into your right leg. Bend your right knee, sink the hips low. Chest up, hands to prayer. Take a breath or two, big work. Turn to the top of the mat, all the way to the right, and very simply step up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, stand tall, reach up. Exhale to fold again, and we take a flow. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or jump straight back into chaturanga. Inhale finds up dog. Exhale finds down dog. One big breath only. And then coming to the squat. Feet outside your hands. Sink the hips down, chest up. 2 or 3 breaths. Hands to the floor. Right foot stepping back. As soon as you get there, front foot, left foot lifts up and out. 3-legged dog. Bend at the knee, tilt the hip up. Big breath in. Step that foot in between your hands. Crescent lunge, arms up. Interlace your hands behind the lower back. So part of the shape is the trickiness of the transition. Roll back your shoulders, belly in. As you start to bow forward, start to straighten through the front leg all at once. Shoulder blades squeezing, ankles working, but belly in. Feel like your left sitting bone is lifting up as you keep the front big toe pressing in. 2 more big breaths. Crescent lunge, release, arms up, bend the front knee, and find warrior 2. Back heel down, open the arms. Extend the stance a little as you straighten the front leg and reach up. Back through warrior 2 to side angle. Bend the front knee, hand down or elbow down, top arm wrapping into a half bind. Turn back the shoulder. Maybe the left hand reaches across for the belly or the full bind is there. And then the hips drive forward just a little. Back leg is super steady here. Center into your breathing. Slow and steady. 2 more breaths. Two hands to the floor. Turn the front foot in so you're facing the side of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold deep. Again, 3 to 4 breaths. A little bit of weights there in the toes. Belly button in, tailbone up. Final big breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk the hands to the back of the mat, back of the room. Right hand raises up. And before we do that, come back here, babe. Take a halfway lift. Walk the hands to the back of the mat. Crescent lunge. Raise the chest and arms up. Exhale through to arrowhead. Sweep your arms back. Look forward, stand up. Hug the left knee in towards your chest. Belly in, nice and tight. Squeeze your right glute. Belly in. Kick the heel out in front of you. Hold for a breath. Pendulum, swing it back. Hands down, foot down. Runner's lunge. Inhale, raise your right hand up. Simple twist. Side plank or wild thing direct. Turn the hips, rotate, lift the chest. Hold for a moment or 2. Big breaths. 1 big step, right foot between the hands. Skandasana to your left. Sink the hips to the left heel. Chest up. 2 or 3 breaths. Turn to the left, the original top of the mat. Very simply, step up. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, stand tall, reach up. Exhale, we come through a flow. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Exhale to step or jump straight back, chaturanga, bent elbows. Inhale, up dog, chest pulls through. Exhale to down dog, hips up. 1 or 2 breaths. And then walk, step or jump back to the squat, feet outside the hands. Sinking the hips down, chest up. Breath or 2. And then do your best, but you could plonk your bum straight down or take your hands behind you and the same, plonk the bum. So reverse tabletop from here as the feet come to about hip width apart. Take the hands just behind the hips, roll back the shoulders, squeeze the glutes as you lift the hips up, belly in, hold for a moment or 2, push the chest up between the shoulders. 2 more big breaths, roll out the shoulders. Try not to push your elbows though. Another breath or 2. Release. Come on down, nice and slow. We'll come towards some version of double pigeon. So go ahead and place the left shin on the bottom, right shin on the top, trying to stack them up fairly parallel to the top of the mat. Now I know that's a tricky little shape for a lot of us. So we can pull the bottom heel a little further back towards the hip, have something a bit more like a figure 4 happening, even a block underneath the outside of the knee, or alternatively again, just a loose cross-legged position. All good things. Lift through the lower back, bow forward any amount. Try and soften the shoulders quite a lot here. We try and keep some lift in the lower back here. Quite soft through the jaw, the face, and just the whole mood of the posture. Let your breathing flood into your lower back and just take a few more breaths here. With an inhale, lifting up the chest, nice and gently, take your time. Top leg kicks out to the side and find a fallen triangle. Fallen triangle, find a stargazer, that's what it's called. Left hand behind your hip, lift the hip up, roll back the top shoulder, big breath in at the top here, and then release. Come on down. Turn towards your right leg, raise the chest and arms up, and then pour the chest over that leg and fold. Keep the foot kind of pulling back towards the knee or the face, but more to the point, get your shoulder blades drawing down the back as the chest pulls forward to the toes. So there's a little bit of contrast there. Shoulder blades down, chest pulls forward. We take a good 3, 4, 5 more breaths. Keep them slow, keep them generous. Last breath or 2. Inhale to lift up the chest. Turn to your left. So right hand catches the knee or the thigh. Left hand behind the lower back. 2 sitting bones stay on the floor. Lift through the chest, rotate through the upper spine and take breath. 2 or 3 more. Last big breath. Back through to center, and then we're just going to come straight into the other side of that double pigeon. So left shin, right shin rather on the bottom, left shin on the top, stack them up, walk the sitting bones back, lift through the lower back, and then start to fold. Again, any variation welcome. If you're in the cross-legged position, find a loose cross leg, and now the left shin is forward of the right one. Again, just the mood settling, the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, There's a certain amount of ease with your breathing. You know, nothing's forceful. It's saturating downward into the lower back. Steady, easy flowing breath. Last one or two. Inhale, chest lifts up. Top leg kicks out to the side. Stargazer, so right hand behind your hip. Rock up onto the shin or the knee. Reach over the head, squeeze your glutes. Big breath at the top here. And then release. Come on down. Raise both arms up. You might turn your whole body a little extra, including the right hip, towards that straight left leg. And as you raise the chest and arms, begin to bow and fold deep. So we're trying this little technique of trying to extend the spine, but find these polarities, these contrasts. The shoulder blades draw down, and that might even, allow you to grip the mat a little bit more. Use some traction if you want to. Shoulder blades down, chest pops through. There's this growth of the spine towards the foot. We take breath, we let it soothe and settle. There's 2 or 3 more. Final breath to come. Inhale, chest lifts up. Right hand behind your hip. Left hand catches the knee, just a seated twist here. So keep the sitting bones grounded, that's absolutely key. As you lift through the lower back, rotate through the chest, the upper spine, and you can use a bit of leverage here. You got your hand on your leg, pull the chest through the shoulders, proud chest, lifted. 2 or 3 breaths more. And then release. Come out. Bend your knees, feet on the ground. 1 more reverse tabletop. Roll back the shoulders, lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, press the chest up. Very short hold. 1 more breath, belly in. Release. Come down, grab a hold of your knees, roll straight down onto your back, and take happy baby. Grab the outer blades of the feet. Have a little pedal and a kick of the legs. And just take another breath or 2 here. And if there's anything else you're dying for before Shavasana, you're more than welcome. But what might also work is to just take Shavasana with your legs up a wall. And that's a beautiful way to do it, especially if you're at home. So welcome to take your legs up the wall. You're kind of doing 2 things at once, bit of inversion, bit of rest. But if you're ready for it, let's come on down into Shavasana. Have a lay down. And here, little tuck of the shoulder blades underneath you. Position the head comfortably and gently. And as we release any sense of control or effort, start to embrace the feeling of rest. So your attention is effortlessly involved in the process of rest. You're looking to be here for the experience of rest. It's not just being still and laying down in the body, but a direct experience, the feeling of rest. Familiarize yourself. Let your belly loosen. Let your lower back release. Jaw, tongue, lips. Total stillness. Let's pause and rest. Bring a deep sense of quietness into the body. Take your time to awaken slowly. Take some deep breaths. Start to wriggle, start to stretch. Awaken the body with ease. Turn off to a side if you like to. Return to a seated position. We take a moment to get full of gratitude. If you're called to, bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Cultivate the feeling of gratitude and let that be the content of your mind, the content of the moment. Direct it towards anything at all. And it's with that feeling, we take a humble bow. I'll say namaste. Thank you so much. Whew. Thanks, folks. I need a shower. Take care. See you next time.